Okay, I'm going to give it a couple minutes. We are live. I know you guys are going to be so surprised of the fact that I am early today. A lot has been going on this weekend, and I wanted to make sure I stopped by to talk about what's going on. So I know I originally told you guys around 7-ish tonight, but I said, you know what, I can't wait to talk to my soapies. So, and I know I tried to get Bree to come on, and I know Bree has some stuff to do with her son. I don't know if she'll pop in the chat. Hey, Monique, good afternoon. There they are. Hi, guys. Hello, hello, hello. I know. I told y'all I was going to be coming on later tonight, but I couldn't wait to talk to you guys. I said, you know what? I'm going to carve out these next 2 hours to talk to my soapies. Good afternoon, Janera. Happy Monday. Hopefully, you guys had an amazing weekend. I know y'all was like, okay. I know it was her son's birthday weekend. Yes, he turned a big 25. It's Libra season. So, and I saw some of you guys on the post that I put in the community tab. Some of you guys had birthdays as well. So, shout out to you guys on the October birthdays. Hey, Keita, what's going on? What's going on? So, I wanted to jump in and kind of talk to you guys, see what y'all feeling about these soaps last week for the week of October 6th. We did have the October 13th air today, which, I might dive into a little bit, but I know we'll probably dive into it later on at the end of the week. So you got your notification. Yes, you did, Miss Medora. Hey, hey, hey. Hey, Cynthia. Hey, hey, hey. What's happening, you guys? All right. Listen, my son is an old man. He had a lot to do this weekend, and he had a lot of fun. It was crazy. And if y'all hear all these trains in my background, I mean, it's like they are back to back all of a sudden. I'm like, as soon as I get ready to talk to my soapies, look like the trains want to join in too. Okay? All right. But hopefully, you guys had a wonderful, wonderful weekend. We're going to talk a little bit about these soaps. I don't know if Bree will be able to pop in. I know she's out and about with her son. But I said I couldn't wait to talk to you guys, and I know you guys couldn't wait to talk about some of this stuff that's going on. All right. All right. So, also, your girl train rush hour, Cynthia. I mean, Cheryl. Can we say train rush hour? I got a question for one of you guys. If you are on Instagram and you would like to join me and you want to talk with me live as maybe one of the one of the guest podcasters, drop me a yes in the chat. Find me on Instagram, and then I will actually call you through Instagram, and we can actually go live together. So let me know if anybody want to go live with me, and we can talk about soaps with the rest of the soapies for the next couple hours. So this is just a guest opportunity. If not, I'm more than happy to talk to y'all. Just me and y'all. Okay? So let me know. Oh, no worries, girl. There's Bree in the chat. Hey, Bree, girl. Listen, Bree, I was trying to see if I can get a guest co-host and see if anybody will join me. I don't know. I know you're out and about with your son, so hopefully everything goes well with that. So but of course we miss you here. But I had to come on early. I couldn't wait. I wanted to talk to you guys. It's a lot going on. Yes, Miss Bree is in the chat, y'all. All right, so I'll I'll do my spiel, and if anybody wants to join me to co-host as a guest for just this week, and you're on Instagram, I can bring you on. Okay? All right. And congratulations on your new book, Cheryl. Congratulations. Congratulations. All right. So, if you are not subscribed to this channel, please hit that subscribe button. Make sure you follow on all of the other platforms: Instagram, TikTok, X. We have a Facebook group where everybody is chatting it up in there. And then also on Threads as well. All right. So if you want to, come and socialize with us on social media, we are there. If you are new here, welcome. If you are a returning, welcome back. Also, we do The Young and the Restless, Bold and the Beautiful, and then we do Beyond the Gates. And of course, I have my spiel. You didn't write a book. What was they talking about? Gail was like, congratulations on your new book. So I was like, okay, wait a minute. What y'all got going on? Did I miss something? All right. So, and then there's also the segments Flip the Script, Who's Taking Several Seats, Star of the Week, Pickle of the Week, and our Simp Olympics. So, without any further ado, because I've been running my mouth, but that's okay. I want to talk to you guys about what's happening this past week of October 6th. Hey, Jacqueline. All right, so let us go ahead and we're gonna talk some Y&R. Some Y&R. Okay. Hey Janet, what's going on? All right, so we had a lot of things going on this week. We had Kyle and his ill-advised plan or promise to drive Claire even further away based on his behavior of trying to track her down in LA. And the conversation that they had in the park. Sharon shares her fears with Nick. We saw that this week. Battle lines are drawn when Jill arrives to the ranch this week, and Sharon gets a deeply disturbing update. Jill makes a beeline to confront Kane after Victor spills the tea, and Tessa pulls Daniel into a heartfelt embrace. We also had Lily unleashing, which she is absolutely annoying. Thank you, One Love. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And leave Kane in tears. And Jack and Diane devise a diabolical plan, which is stupid. Kane threatens Adam and Chelsea and leaves them with a cryptic message for Victor. So, quite a bit of stuff going on this week with this whole situation of, and this has been going on so long, this whole DeMar thing. Actually, I think it started up in December of 2024. And then we had Damien coming on, I should say, yeah, with Damien and Holden pretending he was Damien, and then he wasn't Damien, and Damien revealed himself, and all this time we ended up in Nice, and it's just been an ongoing thing, and now we got this AI situation. And it's like, okay, what are we going to do with it? Now, we did see a little bit of something this week, especially with the hit piece that was put out on Kane by Newman Media. And here's the thing, and I guess it's true in some context because it's more of facts versus people's perception. And so Victor is like, you know what? I don't care if it's true or not. All I got is this letter, and this is what Colin has done. Maybe he didn't know nothing about it, but that's not going to be the perception of the world. And it's just so crazy that perception takes more weight, and especially gossip and negativity takes so much more weight than the truth. Because I honestly believe that Kane did not know what his dad was up to, even if that whole thing was even legit. We still have to question, like Victoria, and even I think who's that? Nicholas might have even brought up, mainly Victoria. She brought up the fact that, what about sources? Do we know this is real? We even saw some people call Chelsea and Adam over the phone asking for a source. Now, granted, it spread it to the international news as well, and so at this point, they're like, "Listen, he's dead in the water." But they released that hit piece. It got to Lily and the kids. Lily is so pissed off, even though we saw Amy tell her, "Listen, ease up. Them kids gonna get over it." And then Jill had a conversation with her in front of Kane, where Kane is pretty much in tears because he's like, listen, I had nothing to do with this. I was blackmailed. And Lily had the nerve to say, well, oh, you knew this was going to happen. Why did you warn anybody? Y'all ain't talking to me. The kids ain't talking to him. So how is he, it's just like that thing we talked about with Deacon. When Deacon told Sheila a couple weeks ago, why didn't you tell me? Well, because you told me not to bring it up. Don't think about it. Don't talk about it. I don't want to hear anything about it. And then when the stuff comes out, now you mad that nobody told you nothing. Either you're going to close the door shut or you're going to leave it open. Which one is it? So now in this situation, he's like, and everybody is trying to tell him, well, send him an email, send him a letter. Listen, let me tell you something. Either y'all gonna get over it or not. Do you really know your father? Do you think he would truly, in your hearts of hearts, mean you any harm? How are these kids who we never get to see on screen, all we hear is from Lily? How do we know that Lily isn't over exaggerating this thing? She's loving being mad at this man. And I don't even think it's about what happened in Nice because a lot of that is predicated. She played a part in what happened to Damien. She inadvertently triggered a psychopath, right? But, man, I'm telling you, it's insane that she is always mad. She's intolerable. And this man is like, listen, I didn't do this. I didn't know anything about what Colin did, if this is even true. He was blackmailing me, and none of that matters to Lily. She's just mad. She's just mad. And it's like, girl, go take a chill pill, sit down, take several seats, like we probably going to have her do in today's show, and keep it moving. Let me see what y'all got to say. All right. Bree said YNR is a slow moving train for the past couple weeks. Jill served no purpose this week outside of her computer screen. I heard that, Bree. Kyle is nothing but a spoiled, entitled brat. I got my issues with Claire as well. Both of them got some issues in my book. That's what's happened in the world today. AI, absolutely. The best part of YNR this week was when Lauren cussed out Michael. Yes, we're going to talk about that. YNR has been a slow-moving train for almost a year. Tell me about it. Medora, she said, I think YNR just had all this build-up. Let it be done. All the writers had no direction with it. They had no direction, Bree. It's just been ongoing since December of last year. In about another 6 to 8 weeks, we'll be in December again. Hopefully November sweeps, which is coming up fairly quickly, will blow this storyline wide open, but it is dragging just as much as the Mariah and Tessa storyline is dragging. Medora says, Lily, I think, has been putting these thoughts on the twin. I believe that too, Medora. I honestly believe that because a lot of times kids are, especially since they're close to her, she uses her anger as a way to make them kids mad because those kids are obviously going to be concerned about her mother. So why not weaponize her emotions against Kane to get these kids all riled up? Because this man is a billionaire. Now, the whole thing with what Victor did, blindsiding with this whole hit piece to back him in the corner because he mad that he didn't get that AI whatever. That's Victor's doing. He told Chelsea and Adam to release that hit piece. He dropped that bombshell. Kane knew it was coming, but who was he going to tell? If he was concerned about telling Maddie and Charlie, they're not talking to him. And Lily barely want to give him the time of the day, and she keeps exacerbating the situation. It's just insane. So I agree with you on that one, Medora. I believe that she has been putting this hatred in their heads. Lily cried about avoiding Kane at all costs, but she goes his train just as much as Phyllis does. It's like, girl, do you want to stay away from this man or don't you? It was crazy. Um, I don't understand why Lily is mad at Kane and not at Victor and Nikki. Thank you, Jacqueline. First of all, Victor has done worse than what we've seen in this whole situation is Kane with Kane. Kane just got blackmailed by Victor Newman, and you don't believe that that happened? I don't know what to believe. You believe Victor. You believe whatever comes out of that man's mouth. So much so that she got her own self bamboozled, trying to help get a company back and end up inadvertently helping Nikki get the throne. It's just crazy. I know, right? Why is Lily so mad? Does she really want this man back? She even fantasized about that, Pink. She fantasized about that before she slept with Damien 24 hours before he got killed. So a part of her do, but part of her is also pissed off that he didn't tell her about this empire. And it's like, for what? You were in two other relationships over the past 2 years with Billy and with Daniel. So, yeah, right. Lily keeps bringing up these grown invisible kids. Lily is so bothered by Kane making his money after his divorce to her. She's jealous of this man's success. Exactly. Exactly. And she want Kane. Just go get him before Phyllis do. Now, I won't talk about that for a hot second because that scene where they was at the athletic club and he wanted her to make something good happen with the AI program, and Phyllis was like, nah, I want you to use this to take down everybody. And he was like, you know what, screw it, I'm sick of you going back and forth with me. I'm out. I'll go find somebody else. She chased that man down, and that little scene where they got all close up on, I see some chemistry between Kane and Phyllis. I know that had to be a chem test. I think they need to go with it. What do y'all think? In the chat, drop a yes or a no if y'all feel that Phyllis and Kane, we should ship them. Hey, Dewan. Yes, if y'all agree with Phyllis and Kane match. No, if y'all disagree with the Phyllis and Kane match. Let me know in the chat. I know, Bree, that chemistry between Kane and Phyllis was kind of hot. All right, Dewan says no. How is it that Victor found out about the AI, which was top secret? He can't stop folks just walking to his property. Yeah, that man was actually sleeping too. I couldn't believe that Kane was sitting up in his sleep with his doors wide open. Somebody could have came and took him out. All right, I got a bunch of yeses in my chat. I got a couple no's. Yes. Okay, I see y'all. Y'all feeling the Kane and Phyllis thing. I'm feeling that. I would rather for him and Phyllis to figure that out together, especially if they actually do something good with the AI program, which will in turn make her reputation better because she created it or helped did whatever, and it did something for the good. And it would shut up everybody. It would redeem his character and all of that. I would love to see that. It would make everybody in town look stupid, and especially Lily Winters. She would eat crow. She would eat crow. Exactly, Jacqueline. It would make Lily head spin off of her neck. But that's the thing, Cheryl. Cheryl says Phyllis is a train wreck. I honestly think that if this would make them look good, if they use the AI program for the good, it could clean up her character a little bit. That is what I would be happy to see. Exactly, Bree. Phyllis, she needs somebody. She haven't had somebody since she came back. When Michelle Stafford came back, she was chasing Jack around, and Jack ended up with Diane. That was almost 3.5 years ago. 2022, or we going into 26. So she really hasn't had anything. She had a little chemistry with Jeremy Stark, but that didn't last, and he was until they made him a rapist, because he tried to take advantage of her, and she ended up unaliving him. But that threw that whole thing out the window, you know. Put Kane and Phyllis together, it would be a win for Phyllis. Exactly, Medora. If they use that AI program for the good, it would absolutely clean up everything for the two of them. They would be on top of the world. They got a hot AI program that could do wonders, is doing something for the good. It would shut down, it would piss Victor off, because him and Jack, because that's the other thing. Jack wanted that AI program to take down Victor. Victor wanted the AI program to take down Jack. Billy wanted the AI program to do whatever he wanted to do with it. And Kane is like, you know what? How about we flip the script on them? Me, and the AI program, Phyllis, we finna do something for the good, redeem our characters, and we're gonna be on top of the world. I would love that storyline, because it would make everybody look stupid. They did all of that stuff to try to make him look bad, and he's horrible, and he's this and he's that. And if he turn around and make themselves look good with that AI program, they will look real stupid. Bree said, I don't know. Bree Crystal, I don't know. She hiding around plants and purses. You're right. I don't know when Crystal Khalil gonna drop that baby. Gabrielle said, yeah, Kane and Phyllis got it. Yes, they do. CJS said Kane invited them to his home and they came to be nosy. But now they want to blame Kane. Where did Victor get that letter? Victor started that rumor about Kane out of jealousy. I don't believe Victor. Good job, CJS. Who knows what? There's no source to that letter. They found this mystery letter somewhere. And now Colin can't speak up for himself. And they're saying, oh, yeah, he swindled that old lady out of her money. Dude, come on. How many people did you swindle? Really? Really? Sharon pouring coffee for Kane is a no. Really? And I almost saw a spark between Kane and Sharon. When? Was that this week? I must have missed that spark, girl. The situation with Jill, like Bree said in the comments, I mean, it was nice to see Jess Walton back on screen. However, I mean, she came there to taunt Victor. I like the back and forth, and she wasn't easily swayed by Victor. She wasn't easily swayed by Jack. Unfortunately, she couldn't fix her relationship with Billy. But I did like the scenes between her and Kane. And Kane right now needs that. And Jill is the only one, maybe besides Phyllis, that's in his corner. You know what I mean? So I'm cool with that. I'm really not interested in the whole Mariah Tessa thing. It's been dragging on for the last 8 months or so. I mean, if this is a way to get Daniel and Tessa together, it's doing a poor job. And it's like, and from the way that the spoilers are looking, it's looking like she's going to fight for her marriage. Okay, so what are we doing? Are we breaking up Tessa and Mariah? Is she fighting for her marriage? Are we trying to figure out who this mystery guy is? They went to wherever, Boston or whoever, to find out what's going on. And they found out this information about who Mariah was with, and then the older guy who wanted to get away from her. But I'm like, okay, so what are we doing? What are we doing? I don't know. Bree said, I think Kane and Phyllis are going to create a security software that beats that AI software, that they can sell it to numerous companies and become even richer. That would be great. Dewan said, it's still confusing me why everyone acting afraid of Kane. Because they mad. I think they're more haters than anything. And sometimes when you hate somebody, you want to make them the boogeyman. they don't. I don't think they're really afraid of him, Dewan. I think they're hating on this man. They don't like the fact that this guy built his wealth in 6 years. He's a multi-billionaire in 6 years. They couldn't even do that. Well, first of all, Victor could had it took him 50 years to do it, and Jack, it was handed to it by his father, John Abbott. So, I just think they're a bunch of haters. And he come up with this new technology type invention, which is AI. It's like they're hating on this man, so they're gonna villainize him to make everybody else hate him too. It's like mean girl or mean guy energy, on the courts. I don't like him, so I don't want nobody else to like him or her. I don't like him or her. I don't want somebody else to like him or her. So I'm gonna go to other people and make him look like a villain. That's all it is. Yeah, Medora, that's the thing. She like to answer Cheryl's question, yeah, it's not biological, but she considers him as family. Lord. Bree said Mariah has a whole storyline off screen. Why do the writers want us? Exactly. Why they want us to take stock in that? It's insane. I'm not interested. It's like, okay, is this Ian Ward? Is this the new Ian Ward? We know Ian Ward is not gone. So why are we doing this? Why is she fighting for the marriage? Are you guys trying to put Daniel with her? If you are, why are you dragging this out? I don't get it. It doesn't make sense. Doesn't make sense. What else we had this week? We got to talk about this whole situation with Lauren and Michael. So Michael has been lying. Bree and I have been giving him the universal cosmic level simp Olympics award, because that man will lie, cheat, steal, go to jail for Victor, whether it means Victor could care less about who he is, only to use him, and he continues to lie to his wife. Continue to lie to his wife. And she was fed up. She was like, listen, I first of all told you to get out of business with Victor. And then now with this Kane situation, y'all are working together to take down Kane. And you've been giving me half truths. You've been lying through your teeth. You tried to butter me up so I wouldn't even think about it, only to find out that you've been lying to me. Now, we had Cricket and Danny trying to get in the middle of this mess. And it's like, why? Lauren, exactly, Gail. Lauren's done with Michael. And Bree, like Bree says, she loved how Lauren cussed him out. That man was still trying to play the victim. He lied. And the crazy thing is, you will do all of this. You're in a fight with your wife over you trying to be with Victor. You're married to this woman. You got a child with, Finn is an adult, but you had children with this woman. Y'all been together for decades. And you rather ruin your relationship through lying and fighting with your wife instead of pulling yourself out of Victor. And this man talking about it took me in order to save Genoa City. Dude, you got fired. Took you to do what? Get fired. And basically when you get fired, Victor called you a loser. You couldn't even keep a job. Couldn't keep a job. And you were going to save what town? Yeah, okay. Yeah. Let's go with that. Sure, Michael. Sure, in your Delulu wildest dreams. Exactly, Medora. Michael is a wimp and Lauren deserves better. Dewan says Lauren and Kane. I don't know about that one. No. Shakira, yeah, they be low-key hating on Kane. Most definitely. Hey, Aisha. Medora says, "Stop being a matchmaker in this chat. You suck at it, Duan." She says you're not being a good matchmaker. But going back to what we was talking about, yeah, she would rather. I mean, he would rather kiss the ring of Victor Newman, go to jail for this man, commit crimes for this man, take a bullet for this man, instead of trying to deal with his marriage. Yeah. Lauren, yeah, Lauren would be a cougar a little bit to Kane. Bree said as soon as Michael had the meeting with Kane, Michael took a rocket ship over to Victor's office asking if the man missed their friendship. Michael didn't care about Lauren's feeling. Exactly. Belinda said, what is this desperate bromance Michael has for Victor? Man, Belinda, you tell me, girl, because I cannot understand for the life of me. This man could care less about you. When you say no to him and he get mad because he wants you to do what he wants you to do, that's a problem. This dude is like, look, I want to go on retirement. I'm going to spend some time with my wife. We can still be friends, but I can't work with you. And Victor was like, if not this, nothing at all. And it's been eating Michael up. So much so that at Nikki's birthday party, he was jealous of the attention. Bree talks about it all the time. He was jealous of the attention that Nikki was getting from Victor. And it's like, dude, that's his wife. That's the mother of his children. Yeah. Something wrong with you right there, dude. That you're jealous of the attention that Nikki was getting from her husband because he wasn't talking to you. Yeah, I don't get it either, Belinda. Gail says Christine Danny's wedding is next month. Michael Damien has a new song. Nina and Gina will attend. Yeah, I saw that. I mean, I'm not a fan of Cricket and Danny, but I guess I have a feeling something big is going to happen. It's November sweeps, so it's a possibility that something may go wrong at that wedding. The one said they could finish what they started years ago. Medora said, who's down for the wedding to be off camera? Me. They should just do what Brooke and Ridge did. Go get Carter or any other attorney to marry them in a room somewhere and let's call it a day and move on. Bree said Michael kisses the ring, polishes the ring, worships the ring way more than his wife. You are speaking facts. Pink says Michael thinks how Victor belittles him as fatherly love. That's toxic, Pink. That's some toxic, I don't know, some psychological something going on there. Medora says Michael got daddy issues and he picked the worst father figure ever. Yeah, this man was going to take a bullet for him, and he said the reason why is because Victor was like a father to him. And I'm like, how? Dude, you were thrown in jail. You tried to save Victor from the whole thing with Jordan and keeping her captive in that basement. And he got you off the hook, and you call that betrayal. And he was mad at you for a long time because he felt that you betrayed him. And even worse, when you said, I want to retire, that made him even madder. So yes, it was time and well overdue for Lauren to put her foot down and say, listen, I'm done with you. You go over there and live up on the ranch with them, because you coming in here and being emotionally non-existent with me and playing games and lying. I'm over it. I'm done, period, point blank, finished. So, and then toward the end of the week, we had this whole situation with Noah. We do know that there's a recast of Noah. She called Nicholas, and here's the other issue about Victor, because when all this stuff was going on, he did not want Nicholas to leave to go see his son. And Nick was like, you know what? I don't give a flying flip. I'm going to see my son, whether you like it or not. It actually took Sharon screaming and crying on the phone, saying that this is a situation like Cassie, in order for Victor to say, okay, yeah, take the jet and going on off to LA. So basically, uh, yeah, his son had to be almost unalived before Victor could say, yeah, okay, all right, take the jet. That's crazy to me. That's crazy. Um, Dewan says Michael seemed like he got Stockholm syndrome. I said the same thing, Dewan. I kind of agree with you on that. Bree said the fact that Victor trash talks Lauren in front of Michael shows that he doesn't even care about his marriage or his wife. Lauren will forever play a side chick in her own marriage. Facts. She's always been the side person to this situation with Michael and Victor. Medora says send Michael to the clinic where Mariah went. He needs to go somewhere. Somebody need to talk to him. Send Lily and Devon there too, because they cape for him too. People can tell them the truth and they will listen to Victor lying to them and believe it over getting the truth from somebody else. Yeah. Jacqueline says it seems Nicholas can't think for himself just like Michael. Listen, it finally took Nicholas to say, screw that. I need to go see about my son. And even for a while, Adam was like, no, no, no. I think you need to stick around. Maybe it ain't that big of a deal. And I'm like, okay, says the man who was doing everything in his power, including cheat on Sally, in order to be next to his son. So, Adam, what are you talking about? If this was Connor, and we did get a little bit of dialogue toward the end of the week where, Adam was like, yeah, I would do the same thing if it was Connor. Okay, well, you should let him do that 2 days ago. Now he got to get at the last minute. His son is lying in a hospital somewhere. Now it's okay for him to go. That's crazy to me. Nick should have just got on the plane. Exactly, Bree. Yes, Nick should have just got on the plane. Victor got a nerve to tell Nick not to be concerned about his own child because he's selfish. It's about what I want. Screw you, screw the grandkids, screw anybody else. I want what I want done now. Yeah, well, I think the Rory Gibson who played Noah, I think he's on another soap right now. So, yeah, I think that's why they probably recasted him. And Cynthia said Nick came to Daddy asking for permission to take care of his own son. Now, that's crazy. It's crazy. It took Sharon screaming through the phone that the man was on his deathbed, basically in the hospital like Cassie was. And then Victor was like, okay, go take the jet, son. Sure. Man, he should have been gone a long time ago. Alrighty. Yeah, this Adam is kissing butt. And then at the same time, we heard Nicholas tell, was it Kane or Jack? I think it was Jack. That, he really don't truly believe in Adam either. He got a game plan when Adam screws him over or whatever. So it's like, dude, you don't trust nobody. Okay, there you go, Dewan. Yeah, I figured he played in another soap on GH. Yep. So I'm trying to think that I cover everything. That whole thing that Jack and Diane devised is just stupid. She want to use that AI system with Jack against Victor, and it's like, I hope none of y'all get it. I hope Kane and Phyllis follow through with their plan to use the AI for good and make all of them look stupid. Stupid, stupid, stupid. That's my thing. So that's pretty much what we had this week. And then Kyle's begging Victoria to tell him where Claire is. It's like, dude, why? Now listen, I know Kyle has done that whole thing was shady, what he did with Audra Charles. However, however, Claire, she, let her fall and bump her head. You know, you going out there with a perfect stranger. Let's just move Kyle out the way. Just say Kyle wasn't in a relationship with her. The fact of the matter is, you going off to run around town, whether you having fun or not, with a man that you barely know, that you know that your family know that this man is not above board. I'll just say that there's something going on in LA with this guy, that he has a history of lying and working for Kane, all of this stuff. And Victoria's like, no, I'm going to let her do what she wants to do. And it's like, okay, good luck with that. And to Claire, with your hypocritical self, and I did a ton of standalone videos, good luck with that, Claire. Fall on your face, as Bree says in my chat, with her freakum dress on in LA and all that glorified makeup on her face, making her look like the antithesis of the Claire that we had for the past year. It's like, okay, whatever. You know what, Claire? Go ahead, have as much fun as if you guys ever watched the Cosby Show. Do you remember when Vanessa went to the concert when she and her friends, when she wasn't supposed to go out there, and Claire said you had big fun with the Ratchet? I think that was the name of the group, or the Wretched or Ratchet or whatever it was. Claire, go out there and have big fun with the Wretched. And don't come back here crying when you find out that what's going on with Holden ain't on the up and up. It also preludes us to get that Sienna Bacall lady, which should be on this week, which we did see in the previews. Yeah, she going out there to have big fun with the Ratchet and come back all jacked up. Remember, Vanessa from the Cosby Show came back and she had hair messed up, the car was stolen, everything, and she looked real crazy coming back from, I think they went to North Carolina, no, they went to the Northeast, Connecticut or whatever it was, and got back to New York and was, yeah, that's how Claire might come back. Mm-hmm. Belinda said, I hope Victoria doesn't tell Kyle where Claire is. Let Kyle, exactly, let that girl fall and bump her head. Since nobody can tell her what to do, by telling her to be protective of herself, you're telling her, well, you don't know, you think I'm that naive? Yeah. You don't know this man from a hole in the wall. All you know is that she was one of Audra's exes and that he loved Vespers. That's all you know. Holden will get with Claire, take her money, and then go back to Audra. He had been wanting Audra back for a while now. So, yeah. Monique said Claire in her mind is thinking I'm tired of everybody telling me how to live my life. Okay, yep, you know what, Monique? She can go on out there, live your best life, have fun with the Ratchet, and don't come back to Genoa City crying with your makeup running down your face that, oh, I should have listened. Go out there and have big fun. All right, we're going to have big fun now, I guess, with Bowl. So, pretty much it was a week of this whole thing with this paternity test. And Lunatic Luna. We did have the scene, and I'm going to get this out the way. We did have the scene between Deke and Hope. And I said this to Bree in the group chat. I said, how is it that it seemed like she has more of a great connection with Deke than she had with RJ? We saw RJ more with Steffi and Ridge, even though RJ is also Brooke's son, which makes him Hope's brother. We seen her more of a more exciting, and seemed like they talk offline and they share each other's social media stories, and they've been in touch, and she's been keeping up with him in design school. They have more of a connection than she ever had to me with RJ. So I just got to say that. I'm like, dang, she was like, oh, I'm so excited. Tell me about the new man in your life. And, we got to go out and we got to go have dinner and I want to meet him. And what about school? And, oh, you're such a great designer. Oh my God. Oh, maybe you can help me here. I need a new designer. I'm like, okay. So I'm assuming y'all had a great brother and sister offline relationship. When RJ was there, I mean, she was talking to him, but it wasn't like that. Yeah. Deke was fighting every urge not to tell her she got fair. Oh, listen, girl, that was funny. She said boho chic, and he was like urban chic. He was like, yeah, well, tacky for the future ain't gonna work. Oh, I mean, hope for the future ain't gonna work. You need to change that boho chic, which went out in 2012, and bring it up to 2025, and let's do some urban chic. So, I'm curious. Hey, Aisha, I think what they did was they flipped his storyline. They flipped his storyline to make it where he said that, going through all that made him realize what he was really attracted to or something. It was some dialogue that they put in that script back when Deke and Remy first came onto the scene. So, but shoot, Electra thinks she got problems with this situation with Luna and this baby. Wait till she find out that Remy is back. Now, granted, Remy's not in a relationship or chasing after her anymore, but those deep fakes is an issue. And the Foresters had a problem with that. So, and Deke don't know about that. So I'm wondering how long Remy is even going to be around as a character, because I would assume that once Deke finds out what he did, even though, according to him, he's not, um, you know, heterosexual or whatever, um, I don't think Deke is going to be happy about those deep fakes, you know? So, yes, the one RJ is a Forrester and a Logan. That is correct. So we'll see. I honestly believe that this is what this leading to. Like I said before, why every new character that comes in or a recasted character, everybody want to go to Forrester to be a designer. That's how Luna came on. She was an intern. She wanted to work for the best fashion house in the world. Then RJ came back as a new character. And then now he goes from being a social media influencer to a designer. Now here comes Deke. He's now wanting to be a designer. I'm like, does anybody want to work anywhere else in this town except Forrester? You got Spencer Publications over there. I guess don't nobody want to work for Bill. Even his own son don't want to work for Bill, which to me is just dumb. I didn't like when they brought Will Spencer back, and shout out to Crew Morrow. He is killing it over there, which is Josh Morrow's son. He is killing it over on Bold. So shout out to Crew. But why did they have Crew come back, play Will Spencer, only for him to go work at Forrester? That just doesn't make any sense. Medora says that this proves that Hope for the Future is about the designers. Hope is just the yes woman. Yeah, she's not a designer. She's the face of it, but she's not the designer. Electra is going to go crazy. Yeah, when she found out about Remy, oh yeah. Bree said, I predict Deke and Electra will be close friends. I agree with that. I hated how Hope and Deke trashed Thomas. Okay, so that was the other piece of that storyline, which we talked about in the group chat. It's interesting how we just going to skip over 2023 like it didn't happen. That the man didn't go to therapy, that he wasn't in a full-fledged relationship with Hope, that he proposed to this girl umpteen 11 times. Are we going to skip over 2023 and the beginning of 2024? That's just going to go out the window, huh? Because they keep now going back to Beth. And Beth is like 8 years old. She's over there doing daddy-daughter dances with her daddy. Y'all then blew past 2024 like it never happened. 23, like it never happened. And then y'all revert all the way back to this whole thing. Whoa, the Beth situation. That's what we doing? Y'all just really want us to erase Thope from our minds. Not gonna happen. Let's see. They should change Forrester Creation to Logan Creations because it's overran by Logan's. Monique, that's funny. But true. Aren't there other fashion houses in LA? You would think, Cheryl. And yeah, Pink, Bash, every time they brought it, since Thomas is now gone, he was only there for, what, 2 episodes? Man, okay, whatever, Belle. Seeing a town full of crazy seemed like Taylor should stay busy. You would think. Bree says, I agree, Crew Morrow is killing it. I can see him getting nominated for Breakthrough Actor category like Lisa. I feel that she will win on Friday. Yes, that's the other thing. The daytime Emmys are coming. Woohoo! Excited about that. I wish for the last several years, I was hoping that there was a way to go live because usually it falls on a Friday night. But that live chat, if we was to live and talk about what's happening on there, we would be on there all night. So, I don't know, maybe we'll still figure out a way to do this or something. But I know a lot of us want to watch the daytime Emmys, so we'll see. Gail says, I was disappointed in Brad Bell let go of Thomas. Makes no sense. Tell me about it. And yes, I agree with that, Gail, that Sally Spectra needs to go back to LA. She's doing nothing over at Young and the Restless. It's just like she got the Emmy when she lost baby Ava. That whole storyline with Adam, but that's it. Shout out to Courtney Hope. Kudos for the Emmy, but I just think that she's a designer. It's better served on Bold. Her legacy is from the OG Sally Spectra. So why would you move her over to the Young and the Restless? It makes no sense to me. But hey, I don't write her check. She gets paid by them. It's her choice. Hey, we're just watchers. Jackie publicly announced the 5th child was indeed a boy. Oh my God, she has a starting lineup. I wonder if she's going to go for number 6. If she's going to get her girl. I don't know. She's kind of like the Ellis's family. If y'all are familiar with DeVale Ellis and his wife. They have 4 boys. And I know they was trying to, I don't know, I think they might be done. I could be wrong. I don't know if they're going to go for number 5 over there too. But I don't know if Jackie going to go for number 6. DeJuan said, I've always thought Pearson Fode should come back as Thomas or Adam Gregory. They were good actors, but Matthew Atkinson knocked it out the park. Knocked it out the park. Whether he was playing crazy, whether he was playing lover boy to Hope, giving her an awakening for 4 days, he knocked it out as Austin Travers on The Young and the Restless. Matt Atkinson is a wonderful actor. All right, so let's jump into the rest of this week. I was hoping we got more on the Carter and Daphne situation or more on the Hope and Liam situation, kind of giving us a break from this whole thing. But this week, we saw Luna reveal herself to Finn that she was still alive, and she didn't get the reaction that she expected. That man is hard. He loved him some Steffi. Even if it's rejecting his own child, And that girl done some crazy things. But I honestly believe a lot of this crazy probably could have been circumvented if they had found out who, if this girl had found out who her father was a year and a half ago. Because that's what all this is about. All of this is, if you look at the baseline of Luna's story, besides her coming to town and all of this and her romance with RJ, that is gone, burned in the furnace. It's over. Everything after that is, who is my father? And instead of them dragging this thing out since the beginning of 2024, when it was Bill, and then they hinted on it with Poppy and the looks that she was giving Finn, they let that go for a while. We went through Bill Spencer, we went through Tom, we went through back to Bill Spencer, and then it went back to Finn, and it's like, do y'all know what y'all want to do with this? And in the meantime, because this girl is going crazy about figuring out who her daddy is, who she want her dad to be, who she don't want her dad to be, all of this drama is predicated on the fact that somebody need to come to the front of the congregation and say, I am your father. And if Poppy had to open up her big mouth a year and a half ago when we saw all of that, writers, maybe we didn't need all of this drama. This whole thing about Bold has been circulating around Luna for the past almost 2 years. The end of 2023. Luna Nozawa, the character, came on in 2023, right before Eric got sick with this whole lung thing. And she was RJ's boyfriend. We saw what happened with the whole RJ Zende crap. And then they switched to Who's My Daddy. And it's just been a crapshoot ever since. You know what I mean? So it's like, at what point does this end? Lisa Yamada is a great character. I would have rather for it to be family issues than all of these crimes. Because how do you keep an actress like Lisa Yamada around if you're going to write her into a corner? She has committed multiple crimes. Now, granted, Liam shot her. However, you held that girl captive, the little teacher lady, captive in the basement. You held Steffi and Sheila at gunpoint. You unalive Tom and Hollis. And the worst of it is that you RAP3'd Will. How do you redeem yourself from that? You can't. So I mean, granted, it was a whole lot of drama from, I would say, the spring of 24 up until now. But I'm hoping Lisa Yamada stay around. I think she's a great actress. But how do you keep this going if you're going to keep her around? You can't. She's in a corner. You're going to throw her in jail and we'll visit her in jail while pregnant? Bill Spencer is not going to let his grandchild. I don't know. It's just crazy to me. All right, what y'all talking about? She said, Jacqueline McCullough says Luna is not redeemable. The writers bring her back worse. She has no remorse for her crimes. Exactly. Luna is following her grandma Sheila's footsteps as the villainess. Yeah, she's pretty much Sheila Carter 2.0. She's pretty much Sheila Carter 2.0. Most definitely. So, yeah, that's true, Cheryl. Sheila has done worse and she became redeemed. I agree with that. They keep letting her off the hook. But Kimberly Brown, she's been at this for over 30 years. She's a good actress. She's been a villain on Y&R and The Bold and the Beautiful. So, yep. So it's going to be interesting to see the direction of this. I guess if you want to call it interesting, the fact of the matter, and even the only person I got to say that really called this what it was instead of dancing around it, and y'all might be surprised, is Brooke Logan. Brooke Logan said in today's episode, this October 13th episode, she said in today's episode that Will was violated. Nobody else spoke to it except for her. And she better speak to it because of what she even said to Zende when she thought he did what he did. Now, she did apologize to him in much later episodes. I think it was the Christmas episode or whatever it was. But she also called it out in this situation. So, and the interesting thing is that, we got Electra, the paternity test came out that he's the father. We saw that in today's episode. They dragged that out for 3 episodes, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. They dragged that out as long as they could. Had Bridget come to do the test so it wouldn't be tampered with. As we suspected, she's the father. I mean, he's the father. She's, vindicated in that manner. So exactly the one Brooke was in the same situation. Bree says, I think Bill and Katie are going to try to get her on house arrest to protect the well-being of their grandchild. Nikki says scheduling procedure would have taken care of Luna. Probably so. Are you talking about which procedure though? Are you talking about the blood test? So I don't know. In her delusional mind, she thought that this man, meaning Will, was truly into her when they were sleeping together to make her feel like they had a connection. No, he thought he was with Electra. He thought that he was with Electra. So, yeah. I don't know. That'll be interesting if she come back again. Gail, I agree with you. I do not like the pairing of Taylor and Deacon. Yeah, I'm not feeling that. I liked She-Con together. I liked the two of them together. They were hot. Sheila's spicy. Deacon is spicy. I'm not feeling Deacon and Taylor. Now, if it was no shade to Rebecca Buddick, we said this last week, but if it was maybe Krista Allen and Deacon, I could see that. There's a little bit different chemistry there. We saw that chemistry before Krista Allen left with Sean Kanan. Yep. So, but my thing is this is a whole lot of mess. I've been doing the recaps Friday and Thursday and Friday. I was over it. Obviously, it was a lot going on this weekend leading into that, but looking at the episodes, it's like, why we keep beating a dead horse with this? It's like, oh, just get the darn test over with and let's move on. We know that this man is going to be this baby's father. Let's just keep it moving. They drug that out for 2 days. I'm like, whatever. No one seems to be interested in helping Will deal with being violated. They are more worried about Electra being... Exactly. And see, again, we talked about this on this platform a couple weeks ago. I think it was Bree and I. We talked about it. And I think Keish might have been on that as well. There is a different energy when it's a young woman versus a young man in a situation like this. It should be across the board. This man was violated. He did not give consent. Brooke called it out. She said that same thing too. He was violated and he didn't give consent. Everybody else is tiptoeing around that. Oh, what you did with Will was wrong. Okay, but call it what it was. It was wrong. But what made it so bad was what she did. Exactly, Bree put Taylor with Jack. Now I could see that. Bold needs to stop giving Taylor men that's been imprinted by Brooke. Let me see. Will need to learn to deal with the violation. So sad. I know that was terrible. Tell him that was terrible. I don't think Luna's going to jail. The writers will find a way to keep her out. Exactly. Exactly. They're going to figure out a way. Lisa Yamada ain't going nowhere anytime soon. I could be wrong. But Lunatic Luna, yeah, with that baby in her stomach, she calling the shots. Now, I will say, just like Ivy told Electra, you whether you in this relationship or not, that's a lot to deal with. He got a crazy baby mama. That girl is Delulu. Not only is she Delulu, but she is a murderer. She killed several people. She's a dangerous woman to be around, and Electra's gonna have to figure out a way to deal with that if she's gonna be with Will. 18 years is a long time. A long time. And do I think Electra and Will gonna stay together forever? Absolutely not. No romances stay together on this show or any show forever. Now they might get back together as we see people break up, get back together, break up, get back together, but they acting like, oh my God, you'll never get in his life. We're gonna be together forever. Yeah, okay, Will. Ask your parents that question. Didn't Luna admit to Will that she spiked his drink? Yep. Yes, Medora. Jacqueline says, I don't know why they would even put Taylor with Deacon Orbit so Sheila can trip and do something to Taylor. Exactly. Now you're going to set her off. So you already got Luna out there. Now you're going to set Sheila off. And Sheila's been in her soft girl era. Leave her alone. Yeah, I mean, I agree with you, Aisha. Electra got her whole life ahead of her. Now, this was not his fault. He did not give consent, to sleep with Luna. But the situation is going to be hard to deal with. That's the problem. So I agree with you in that shape or form, Aisha. Jan says, sorry to say I'm equally tired of Luna and Sheila. I don't watch soaps to see criminals get away with violence. Yep, that's the thing, though. When you got good actors like Kimberly Brown and Lisa Yamada, it's like, okay, we don't want to let them go. How do we get them out of the situation? You know what I mean? But let me see. What else happened this week? We got to see Poppy this week, and she's coming in with her little conversation with Fan, which, okay, that was random. I guess we'll see more of Poppy this week when they tell her that Luna is alive, well, kicking, and pregnant. So, all right. Let me see, unless y'all got something else to say. I mean, because that's pretty much what the week was about. We didn't get no Carter and Daphne, no Liam and Hope. We did get Hope and Deke. And we got this whole, and then Ridge and his indignation. We got today's episode. Somebody, Electra called the police on, on Luna. So, now here's the interesting thing. How is Electra going to feel if Bill and Katie is like, yeah, I know you want to call the police, but that's our son and we got to figure out what's going on with that baby. If I was Electra, I'd be like, okay, y'all got this. I called the police to get her sent to jail, and then y'all gonna stop what I did because y'all want to look after his kid that I truly don't want no part of. This is where she needs to reevaluate her life right now. Now, granted, this is not Will's fault, but the situation is what it is. And his parents is going to supersede you calling the police. And I can guarantee you, Bill is going to work his magic. I won't say guarantee because I don't know what the rest of what's coming up. But I could see Bill working his magic to put that girl on house arrest because He wants to worry about that grandchild. That kid has nothing to do with any of this. That's an innocent child being born in this whole mess. Bree said Electra loved poking the bear. That same bear everyone cries out is dangerous. Exactly. She girl, sound like somebody else I know. Steffi. I feel Poppy was trying to spin the block while Steffi was away. Girl, you funny. Who knows? Knowing Poppy, she probably was trying to get in where she fit in. Let's see. Don't blame Electra for calling the cops whether she stays with Will or not. Medora. Jan says, hoping Deke character develops as interesting as his beginning indicates. Gail says, I can hardly wait for Steffi and the kids returning to LA. Steffi will be shocked to find out Luna's alive and pregnant. What if Will says to Luna, I want nothing to do with you or the baby as far as I'm concerned? And that baby doesn't matter. The problem is that Bill is. And Bill see the long-term ramifications of this. She could easily see, okay, so on Beyond the Gates, we all know the situation with Leslie and Eva. Ted never knew he had a kid. But she's been hanging that affair, and now he's trying to pay up on what he missed out on Eva, which that's a whole nother conversation. Bill sees the long-term ramifications of what damage that Luna and that child could do for his family's legacy. That's why. So she could come back. Knowing how rich he is, I mean, his son has a silver spoon in his mouth. He's the heir to the Spencer fortune, even though he wants to work at Forrester. You working somewhere that your legacy isn't. But yeah, go figure. He's an heir to the Spencer throne, and so is that child. Now, obviously, there's Wyatt, there's Liam, there's people in line to that. But still, that's still one of his heirs, whether Luna is around or not. And Bill is looking out for his financial future because that girl, she's sitting in the catbird right now, catbird seat right now, which we see all the time when it comes to certain women purposely trying to get rich get rich from having children or using a pregnancy or children to get financially taken care of. Now, she claims she loves Will. It's possible. But 18 years is a long time. What happens when she see the next guy, but she still got a kid with Will? All she going to do is just say, now it switches from I love Will to you got to pay child support. Or I need money. Y'all rich. Y'all got to take care of me. You know what I mean? So, let's see. That baby crazy as his mother, and Grandma Sheila, if even born, she may be unalived or have a miscarriage. That's possible, Melissa. I think the baby should be put up for adoption. Girl, do you actually think Luna Nazawa is going to put that baby up for adoption? Number one, she wants somebody to love her. That's the biggest thing. She's using this child as somebody that's going to love her. Her mother's crazy and a druggie. Her father is pro Team Steffi. The whole town in LA doesn't like her because of all the crimes she committed. Sheila is her grandmother, but that only goes so far. She wants somebody who's going to be a constant reminder of somebody that she could love, that could love her back. And that's the problem. She ain't giving up that kid. Not one iota if she going to give up that kid. Not sure Luna's in love with the baby or just using it to be rich and get out of free jail. I think she's looking for something to connect to. She doesn't have any. She used to. She had her mom, but her mom kept lying about paternity. Finn found out that he was the father and then decide, okay, I'm the father, goodbye, which Why would you do that? Knowing that this girl spent the better of a year trying to figure out who her dad is. It's now you, and you're like, I'm your dad, but see you when I see you. That ain't how that work. You can't drop a bombshell like that, right? And then be like, okay, see you later. Can't come. I can't see you ever again. Stay away from my family. Goodbye. What did you expect, Finn? You don't drop a bombshell like that. And then she's like, okay, Pops, well, glad to know that you're my dad. I'll see you around. Please. Let's see. Will when she doesn't know. I'm trying to understand what you were writing, Luna. Luna. Oh wait. How can Luna love Will? It was cut off. Okay, sorry about that, Cheryl. How can Luna love Will when she doesn't know him? I think she's infatuated with him. He's a hot guy, and she got vibes. Pregnant or not, she deserves prison, especially for what she did to Will. Because I mean, she can't go to prison for Hollis and Tom because she's been pardoned on those. It's the newest crimes: kidnapping the teacher, throwing her in the basement. That's kidnapping. The holding Steffi and Sheila at gunpoint. That's a crime. The biggest crime too is the RAP3 of Will. So she's done some things since the pardon. Even if Finn accept Luna, no guarantee it will stop her from being jealous or paying attention to anyone else. I know, but I was hoping at some point we would see a connection between those two, but it's just not happening. We really don't even see a connection between Sheila and Finn. Finn is so team Steffi that, yeah, anything outside of that, it doesn't exist. It doesn't exist. So, but we'll see what happened now that we know that the answer is out, that Will is the father of Luna's baby, and we'll see where we have to go from here. All right. So then, last but not least, we got Beyond the Gates, and a lot of stuff been going on this week. We have Martin shocking Smitty. Eva plays second fiddle to Kat. Kat and Tomas declare their love. Joey is about to have somebody else taken out, which I think was Malone. Joey and Vanessa are busted by their son. Smitty has a plan to save his marriage. Haley go looking for love in all the wrong places. She was missing her husband, and she running around town. Martin and Smitty reunite, and Bill turns to somebody for help with this whole situation of keeping tabs on Danny. And Danny makes Andre a shocking offer. So, a lot of what happened this week was pretty much Martin pretty much told Smitty, you know what? Listen, you ain't finna treat me like a booty call and then tell me to go away or sleep on the couch. I am somebody that needs to be respected in the house that I used to live in with these kids. Either you make a decision or I'm moving on with my life. And that scared the crap out of Smitty. Smitty was like, wait, hold on. No. I didn't mean that. But I could understand where Martin is coming from. Nobody, I don't care who you are, especially if you're married and in a relationship or a long-term relationship, you make that person feel like a booty call. Even if y'all having issues, take what you wish and then turn around and say, all right, see you when I see you. He was like, you're not going to do that to me. You've lost your mind. So they ended up, Smitty figured out a way to save his marriage. They went on some dates. And as we saw in the promo for this upcoming week, it looks like he's going to propose. So, that's pretty much what we had with that particular storyline. Um, Bill is all over the place. Bill is seen um, Danny and Andre in this fun, happy relationship, even though Danny loves spending time with Andre, but she's also using Andre, which she's been very transparent about. And everybody else is telling her, don't use him. You're wrong for this, blah, 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 blah. And they like, listen, we've been transparent with each other. We know what's going on. I know about Ashley. He knows about Bill. We do us. We have fun and we keep it moving. And she even kept it open. We got open relationship. You can do whoever you want to. I can do whatever I want to. Well, Bill is having a problem with that. We saw the kiss last week, right? And then this week he was hiring people to keep Andre out of her life and her bed, which is none of his business, and it's hypocritical because he talk about somebody age and using him and stuff like that. And I'm like, okay, so I'm assuming Andre and Haley is around the same age and you're with her, married her, yet it's a whole problem with him, not other people, with him who did the exact same thing that Danny is doing, but he got a problem with it. You know, it's like, Bill, you why are you so butthurt about this situation? Did you expect her to be lonely and pining after you? I mean, even if it wasn't Andre, you guys, it could have been somebody else. What if it was Carlton? He would have a problem with Carlton too, even though Carlton is talking to Nicole. You know, I don't know how I feel about that coupling, you know, but this whole thing, I don't care if that girl was with Carlton or even if she ended up with Ted, even though that's her sister's husband. That's not uncommon in the soaps, or ex-husband. Brooke does it all the time. I don't care who Danny would be with. He would have a problem with it because he wanted her to be sad, bitter, lonely, drinking. He didn't want to see her happy and having fun without him. And it's a problem. June is very pretty. She is. I like her smile. Cheryl says, I love that Bill and Haley are jealous of Danny and Andre. People should mind their own business. Exactly. Bill is still crazy about Danny. I absolutely 1000% agree. Gail says, I don't think Danny and Andre's marriage is going to last. Yeah. The way today's episode looked like, I don't think so either, because he's over there talking about unfinished business with Ashley, and she's talking about, I'm going to give you an out. You want kids? She's trying to push that man out because she figured that, you know, she's made a success of this ruse that's getting under Bill's skin. So she like, you know what? Mission accomplished. All right, if you want to go over there and do something else, I'll see you later. You might want kids in the process. I'm going to let you have that. Pretty much. Bill needs to put that child, Haley, back in her playpen. Well, I mean, he's sitting over there complaining about what Danny's doing when you did the exact same thing. And made it worse. It was your daughter's friends. It was one of your daughter's friends. That's crazy to me. But you want to be mad calling him a seat holder and all these other things because it's Danny sleeping with somebody else, but you did the same thing. So, exactly, Aisha. Bill do need to sit down somewhere. Bill wants his cake and eat it too. Aisha said Danny is so confused and delusional. I agree with that as well. Because what it is, he doesn't like to chase. The moment that he see Danny alone, he'll be right back over there with Haley. He just don't want Danny to be with nobody. It's like, how you gonna move on, but you don't want her to move on? Like I said, even if it was Carlton, the guy that Nicole is talking to, even if it was Carlton, he would have a problem with that too. So he don't want Danny with nobody. He want her miserable and bitter, pining after, just like what's her name? The girl that runs the modeling agency with her. She said, "You want this girl to be pining after you forever? Come on, seriously? No." So Medora says, "I think Danny is fooling herself if she thinks their relationship is only about Bill." Yep. But see, he's not being honest either. I mean, he seems like he really wants to be married to Danny, but this man's got feelings for Ashley. And the only reason why, this whole thing is what it is that, Ashley's engaged to Derek, and Derek is keeping secrets too. Derek is so afraid that if he tell the truth about the sensation in his legs, that Ashley is going to be like, "Oh, okay, well, you good? You good. Oh, okay, well, I'm finna go over here." That's what he's worried about. And I believe it's a possibility. So everybody is lying to each other about their feelings. Danny want to be with Bill. Andre want to be with Ashley. Ashley want to be with Andre, even though she's trying to kowtow to Derek. Derek is not being honest about his legs. And Shanice is just like, y'all on borrowed time. You can't be going into this relationship with a secret like that. So, yeah, it's going to get crazy. All right, so we got to talk about Kat, Tomas, and Eva. So last week we saw where Eva got played. Kat caught the cheating. Kat is going to fight for her man. Came back. Tomas told Eva, that I'm done with you. I know, right, Jan? It is a wonderful show. I love it. I'd be so into it. Um, and then Tomas, in front of Eva, because Eva had a whole conversation with Tomas, Kat came over and was talking about the whole LOVE thing, and they professed love for each other. And she felt some kind of way that the girl was getting busy in the closet, in the broom closet at the club, and looked like she got what she accomplished out to get. She reached that mountain and was happy about it. So I don't know if she needed to hear that this man loved her. She wasn't sure about his connection, but the fact of the matter is he still slept with Eva, your half sister. So I think she could do better. But this is soaps, so she want to fight for Tomas, and Tomas is like, I'm team Kat. I'm team Kat, and I'm gonna stay with Kat. And we even had Leslie get in his face about it. Leslie is a hot mess, boy, I tell you. She getting in everybody's face. Aisha said Eva is Leslie. Monique said, I'm glad Danny told Haley about building his ways. Let me guess, he tells you he got to work late, and he does the same thing with me. Girl, hey, he's only repeating what worked. Eva got what she deserved. Kat should dump Tomas. Sure, I agree with you on that. Bill is my favorite character. Not sure I like him lovesick about his ex, but the character can pull it off. Yes, he can. That dude is tall too. I think he's actually 6'5". I forgot the actor's name. They get on my nerves. They should get on. Listen. They need to kick Tomas to the curb. That man slept with both of them. You thought y'all was broken up, so you go over there and sleep with Eva, only to find out the Kat is mad and still wants you, and you tell Eva, I didn't mean to use you, but. And Eva's on the sliding down the wall crying, and then her mama tell her to go chase after that, even though Eva was like, shoot, I'm too good for this. I'm not finna chase after a man who don't know what he want. She goes listen to her stupid mama and goes and make a fool out of herself, and she still ended up with egg on her face because Tomas told Cat that I love you, you love me, and let's go to the broom closet. Girl, please. So, yeah. Um, let's see. Joey, Vanessa. So, Vanessa's getting on my nerves. You got to think that this couldn't been an accident. And I'm liking the fact, especially in today's episode, that Darnell did not let Joey manipulate him into getting a job as a dealer. He was like, I don't even know how to shuffle Uno cards, and you gonna give me a job as a dealer? Plus, I spent all this time in college. And no shade to anybody who work at a casino, but I mean, obviously, he went to college for a specific skill or career. Let him finish what he's gonna do. Working at, and he's like, how you expect me to work at the same casino that my father claimed to ruin his life at? Are you crazy? This ain't gonna work. So, yeah. I'm glad that that manipulation didn't work. He tried to manipulate that boy all week, and it wasn't working. Dude is like, listen, you ain't finna try to tell me. Now, he did let his guard down a little bit with Joey. When he started talking about oh, tell me about this and tell me about the, and of course he figured he could use that as manipulation too. But I'm glad that he kind of wisened up. He caught Joey and Vanessa at the bar together. You know, Vanessa's stupid. Why would you even? She need to get far away from Joey as possible. She gonna look like a whole fool when she find out that Joey was the one that facilitated that accident to get rid of him to get to her, only to dump her. Because remember, y'all, in today's episode, he told her that it's over. We can't do this no more. Go on back to your life. Go back to your friends. Your son is going to be a little bit too much, and I ain't about to deal with this. Now, of course, we probably going to see, I'm guessing, Vanessa is going to beg this man to keep screwing her, which, girl, is it that good? I guess it was. He had you screaming when y'all was out of town in Puerto Rico or wherever y'all was, but it's like, okay, yeah, you done lost it, ma'am. Right, that Aisha said that part. Vanessa is delusional. She's stupid. That girl is stupid. Joy is just trying to keep Donnell close to see if he's the enemy. Well, Donnell ain't. Donnell is like, listen, I got this now. I don't need your help. I'm here to take care of my mama. I'm stepping up. That's what my dad will want me to do. So leave me alone. And Joy is like, yeah, this is a little bit too much for me. You know what? I'm going to have to cut ties. So now, idiot Vanessa, your husband is dead by the man who wanted to get you, who now, because your son is now in town and is trying to take over, is now wanting to break up with you. How did that work for you? Yeah. So the man had lost his dad. For what reason? Y'all ain't gonna even be together. He took this man out to be with you full time, only to say, you know what, this is too much because your son is a little bit too nosy. So I'm gonna cut you loose. Crazy. We also had the situation with Naomi. Now there's mixed reviews on this because there are folks I was reading social media. There are people that are siding with Naomi about not wanting to have a child. If this is what y'all talked about, this is what y'all planned for, then boom, we need to stick to that. The problem with this, Naomi, is that if you're going to do that, you got to be 110% solid on your birth control. Because as long as you're having unprotected schmecks with your husband, there is a chance that a child could come out of that. That's human nature. That's every other species on this planet, unless they're asexual. Um, yeah, if you copulate with another person who can get you pregnant and you don't protect yourself, it's going to happen. Now, granted, she said, "Oh, I was upset at what happened with her sister and what was going on with the crazy woman and all of that I forgot." Okay, so now what? Right? The other side of this fence is Jacob. Now, Jacob agreed to not want children with her. However, in that moment, when she said, "I'm pregnant," he was the happiest man alive. And he like, "Okay, cool. Well, we got a kid in the mix. It happened. Let's do it." And she like, "Hold on, partner. No, 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 no. This ain't what we talked about." The problem is that, and this is just my perception. This is my perception. Take it or leave it. If you are 110% not ready to have a child, put everything as possible in place to make sure you're protected. Now, are there people that get pregnant with condoms? Yes. Are there people that can get pregnant on a birth control? Sure, because nothing is 100% except abstinence or what's the other word? Abstinence or celibacy. One of those two things, those are the only two things that's 100%, you know? Hey, that's a good one, Jan. Jan says in the chat, she said, "You forgot the pill, but you didn't forget to get with your husband." It takes 2 seconds, 2 seconds to pop. How long does it take to have schmecks? There's foreplay, there's removing of the articles of clothing, there is the time it takes to do the do. Then both of you get what you want out of it. All that takes time. It takes 2 seconds to remember to pop that pill. I mean, you know. So it's an interesting call. I don't want to get into the whole conversation about AB. I didn't like when Bill Spencer brought it up. I was shocked at that they brought it up, and when he tried to force Luna to get an AB. But it's going to be interesting to see what Naomi decide. There's two people in this. It took two people to make the baby. So, are they going to agree? Somebody is going to, I don't know. It's going to be interesting. Yep. Yeah, I know. He's cute. He's a cute guy. He's definitely going to be hurt if, you know, Naomi decides to do something different. Monique said maybe Naomi feels having kids will interfere with her career. She did say that. She also tried to project it onto her mother, saying that she ruined the kids, her and her sister, ruined her life, and got in the way of her being the top model and all this so kind of stuff. And she was like, "Hold on, I stopped my career not just because of y'all. I stopped to help build his business. It wasn't about because of y'all." She said, "Matter of fact, when I had a baby, everybody else in Fairmont Crest started having babies. It was so many babies around town because I started the whole thing." So I don't know. I just hope that both parties come to an agreement that they can live with. Not one that they can resent, because if Jacob says, "I want you to have this kid," and she do it, she's going to resent him somewhere down the road. If he just goes with Naomi and says, "Okay, fine, do what you got to do," he's going to resent saying, dang, I could have had a kid. So it's got to be something that they can both agree on and is okay with it. Yeah, I mean, don't just agree to get along just to get along because resentment is going to happen. Yep. All right. Let's see. We talked about Smitty and Martin. We talked about love in all the wrong places. Haley looking for her husband. Um, that's today's episode. Let me go back. Looked like we saw Leslie trying to flirt with Joey. I was like, what? That is crazy. I do want to talk about June. June and Ted has a connection. I am loving that coupling. I actually love that those two together. I love that coupling. I would love to see where that could go. Somebody that hate that is Leslie. Leslie saw that connection across the room. First of all, she was being rude to June today. And then she turned around and saw the conversation between June and Ted. And she was like, I'm his wife. Girl, you ain't nobody's wife. And I'm glad June got clarification by talking to Samantha and Chelsea about the family roots. Leslie is a bold-faced liar. We also saw Ashley's mother, because Mona, we saw Kat trying to reconcile the situation between Mona and Ashley's mother. I forgot her name. Mona was like, I'm done with you. However, Ashley's mother wants to be friends with Leslie. I'm like, how random is that? Now, that's going to bring a divide between Mona and her. Because it's like, how you going to be friends with this woman after what she did? They over there touching fingers and carrying on. I'm like, okay, I guess all is forgiven. I don't know if I see, it's some subliminal messaging in that whole scenario. I don't know. It's weird. But I agree, Aisha. I want June to win. Sharon said Leslie loomed over June, but June did not back down. She is small but mighty. She was like, girl, I've seen things worse than what you trying to do. And Leslie's talking about, oh, I can make you go through worse than what you think you've seen. And I'm like, girl, go. Ted don't want you. And Nicole even said that, talking about, oh, I'm living up under the roof with Ted. No, you living in the same hotel building. And I got to say, Nicole stuck up for Ted in that moment by saying, Ted can't stand you. You might have had a one-night stand, but that's all you going to get. So I was shocked by that she decided to do that. And then we also saw quickly, before I get into the other segments, we saw the whole situation with Vanessa and Nicole. Nicole was trying to be her friend, but I've experienced this in the past. When you're trying to be honest with somebody who don't want to hear the truth, they will get mad at you and then try to put space between you. All Nicole was doing was telling her the truth. Like, look, this dude is bad news. I can't believe you bringing your son around this man. Y'all know this history. But this girl is so ickmatized, I'll just say ickmatized by Joey, that she's willing to sever her long friendship with Nicole over Joey. And Joey was like I said a few minutes ago, yeah, you need to go fix that friendship because about us, yeah, I'm done with that. So, yeah, and that scene did not surprise me because I have experienced that before. You try to tell somebody, you come to me for advice. I give it to you straight, not something that you want to hear. I'm being honest with you. And because it's not what you want to hear, you get defensive. And then you want to put distance and call her Dr. Nicole Richardson or Dr. Nicole Dupree. It's like, okay, girl, go just like Claire Newman. Go on over there, have big fun with the ratchet, and don't come back here crying to me when you all bumped and bruised up. And I don't mean by physical anything, but by the troubles that she's going to go through especially when she find out what happened to Dougie. So, yeah, I'm like, shoot, you and Claire, go ahead on. Y'all going over there, play in the sand. Don't come crying to me when you itching from all the sand being on your skin. You know, they tried to tell Claire about Holden. She's not listening. She going all the way to LA to hang out with him. Now your girl Nicole, who you known has been in your corner for years, yet you mad because you want to continue to screw Joey. And she's telling you Joey's bad news. So you don't want her to cut off that peen. And you like, yeah, sorry, but not sorry. I don't want to talk to you like that, Mrs. Dupree, Dr. Dupree, Dr. Nicole Dupree. Like, girl, please. Gail said that Ted know that June has two children who was raised by. He found out today. He found out that June was Samantha's mother over at Orphe. There you go. Alrighty, and then the other thing we had today, right quick, was Ashley and that baby that they delivered. What did it say? Ashley Andrea is the kid's name, and it kind of brought a connection in that moment. And then looked like Derek got even more feelings. He moved his legs today, and now they invited to this Halloween party, the four of them, and yeah, this is about to be a hot mess. And then we see Andre telling Ted, I think I got unfinished business with Ashley. Good luck with that. Claire is hope. They want an awakening. I know, right, Jacqueline? Okay, thank you, Cheryl. Ashley mother's Jan. Yeah, I don't know why Jan is trying to reconnect with Leslie. You crazy. You crazy too. I didn't understand that part. You and Mona are friends. Mona is like, I don't have nothing to do with her. And then she like, oh, you know what? Come on, I'll give you a clean slate. Yeah, good luck with that. She gonna use you too. Jan gonna learn the hard way. Yep, that could bring them closer in conversation. I guess it could. All right, so let's go ahead. Hold on 1 second. And we're gonna do our final segments. I'm gonna give my ideas. You guys can drop yours in the chat. We're going to do our flip the script, who taking several seats, star of the week, pickle of the week, and a Simp Olympics. Okay, so my flip the script for Y&R should have been Kane kicking Lily out and tell her, you know what? You don't want to be bothered with me again? I don't want to talk to you ever again. I'm done. You don't want to reconcile with me? Fine. It's over. I'm going to fix whatever relationship with my kids. Don't stand in the way of that. But I'm done with you. I'm done, and done. My flip the script for Bold. I'm just over this whole thing. I wish we had gotten more about the Daphne and Carter thing. Did they reconnect? Are they talking now since they met over at Irgidino? What happened to Hope and Liam? Like, I'm not really too excited. We've been down that road before for many years, but it would have gave us a break from the Luna scenario. Right? Right. Um, Flip the script on BTG. I wish that Ted had realized what was going on and that Leslie was jealous of June and told June, like, listen, when you get off work, how about I take you out? That would have eat Leslie up. So now she goes from fighting with Nicole. Now she's fighting with June over Ted. At some point, Leslie, you are an attractive woman. Go find another man. Why Ted? Ted don't want you. Okay, you got a kid by this man. He don't want you. Your kid is grown. She almost 25, 30 years old. It's over. He don't want you. Yes, you slept with him, but he was drunk. And that's no excuse. He got to make decisions, better decisions when he's intoxicated. But, girl, find somebody else. You look just as pathetic as Eva chasing Tomas, which is why she gave that advice in the first place. Aisha said the whole thing should be a flip, and she said Danny shouldn't leave Andre. I think I would love for them to stay together a little while longer for them to enjoy each other, but it's killing Bill. I want him to be mad, mad. I really do. All right, taking seats. Young and the Restless. I'm gonna give Claire a seat, and I am gonna give Lily a seat because Lily got on my nerves this week. And let me see, anybody else that stuck out? That's about it for me. Bold seats. Let me think. Maybe the whole storyline. Because it's just trash and it dragged out for all half of the week with this whole paternity thing. So I'm gonna get a writer's a seat on that. Beyond the Gates, taking a seat. Vanessa, you're gonna end your friendship with a longtime friend over a dude who you don't realize unalived your husband to get with you only to break up with you. Vanessa needs to take several seats. And I also say Kat needs to take a seat because, girl, why are you running behind a man who clearly told you, I don't want to be with you and I just used you. I didn't mean to use you. Yeah. Gail said take seats. Y&R, Lily, Michael, Jack, Diane, and Claire. Bold, Bill, Lee, and Luna. And BTG, Tomas, Haley, and Ashley. Yeah, Ashley needs to take a seat too. I agree. All right. Star of the week. For Young and the Restless, I'm going to give it to, what's her name? Oh, God. Lauren. Lauren ate up Michael. That's what he get. So, for, what is that girl's name? Bregman is her last name. Bregman. What is that girl first name? What's her first name, you guys? The lady that played Lauren. I know her last name is Bregman. But I'm going to give her star of the week for Y&R because she cut up on Michael. And I loved every minute of it. That's what he get. Tracy, thank you. Thank you, Jan. Tracy Bregman. She did a great showing of anger. Yes, she did. She wasn't playing with Michael. And Michael sitting up there playing games. I might as well give it to him as well, Christian LeBlanc, because he definitely tried to play the victim, and he's good as being a simp. And then star of the week for Bold. I don't know. I really don't have one. I guess I'll give it to Bridget, Ashley. What's her name? Yeah, I think her Ashley. What is her last name? Labora? Yeah, I'll give it to Bridget. We finally get to see her on screen, even though she was there for a hot minute. So I'll give it to her. Monique said flip the script for Y&R. Lauren divorces Michael. Finally, B&B, Luna gets the chair. Ooh. BTG, Haley, and Andre catches Bill and Danny. Well, Haley will catch Danny and Bill this week. She gonna catch them kissing in that office. Yes, yes, yes. And I think according to the spoilers, Andre is gonna find out about it from her probably. So it's coming. Stay tuned, Monique. Jan says Catherine Kelly Lang, aka Brooke, for speaking the truth about Luna and the SA. I agree. Gail says B&B crew, Morrow, and BTG none. My BTG star of the week, I would say, let me see. It's hard. It was so good. I mean, they're all good actors over there, but to pick one, that's going to be tough. They all had a good week over there. I'll give it to the girl that played June. I like her. I like her little personality. She does a great job playing the role. I forgot her name. I do follow her on Instagram. But yeah, she's a cool little actress. And then pickle of the week, Lily, Young and the Restless. Lily is, oh, she got on my nerves this week. Lily is definitely the pickle this week for Y&R. Bold and the Beautiful, pickle of the week. Let me think. The whole storyline, I'm just over it. What we do now? Okay, Will's the father. Whoop-de-doo. And then pickle of the week, Beyond the Gates, Vanessa. I gotta give it to Vanessa. I don't like how she treated her friend over a man who you know is a criminal, who you know have unalived somebody just because the schmecks is good or whatever. You willing to send your boy away because it give you the freedom to move how you want to with Joey, only to not know that Joey is the one that cut off your husband's life, tried to manipulate your son, and now he wants to break up with you. So yeah, she get the pickle of the week on that one. I see Kyle. Jan says Kyle. Big Star. Cynthia Chain said Eva. And Kat. Bree Girl, welcome back. Tracy Bregman, Crew Morrow, and too many on BTG. I agree with that. BTG was good this week. Pickle of the week, Aisha Luna, and she said, "Oh, who's going to unalive Luna?" That's a good question. If she does get unalived. All right, and then Simp Olympics. Of course, Michael. Michael was willing to get into a whole argument and lie and fight with his wife, so much so that Cricket and Danny had to intervene. You went through all of that to cape for Victor. That's a problem, ma'am. I mean, sir. That's a problem, sir. Bree says pickle is Lily, Luna, and Danny. Ooh, you gave Danny a pickle. Okay, girl. Gail said pickle, Lily, Luna, and Vanessa. Yeah, I agree with Lily and Vanessa. Those were my pickles. But Michael still get the cosmic award because, I mean, you willing to break up. You played the victim in all of this just to cape for Victor. Insane. Insane. I'm going to unfortunately give the gold to Derek because this man is faking being sick in that chair just to keep Ashley around, knowing clearly that Ashley want Andre. This man is lying. You got Shanice begging him to tell, and he's like, no, no, no. I'm going to play this role to the hilt. I want to marry her and have her see me walking down the aisle so I know at least I'll be married to her, and she's stuck. Dude, you do not want to play that game. Because she going to be looking at you like, did you know all this time and didn't tell me? But at the same time, she's also not being honest with her feelings. But it's like, dude, if you know that this woman is interested in another man, why are you faking being still 100% paralyzed from the waist down just to keep her around? Crazy. We're going to give Bill a silver. This man went through all of getting people following Andre, the confrontation he had with Andre over at the bar, all of this stuff, talking to the girl that works with Danny. It's like, dude, you married. You're a hypocrite because you're chastising Danny for doing the same thing that you did, but you simping for her because you don't want her to be by herself. Yeah, I agree with that, Bree. You gave Bill gold. Okay, I gave him silver. Kyle, I can agree with that too. I can agree with Kyle because Kyle is this girl that went off with another dude and you gonna chase her to LA only to get what? Let her go out there and have big fun with the wretched. Like I said earlier in this show, like I was talking about the Cosby Show reference when Claire Huxtable told that to Vanessa Huxtable, who came back with the car stolen, hair all messed up, cause she snuck out and went on down to out of state trying to see the concert. She'd go have big fun and let her come crawling back looking crazy. Kyle, you be standing there looking like what? I told you so. But no, he want to go down there. Okay. Go ahead on down there. You finna get your feelings hurt. That's what you get. So I agree. Oh, you are welcome. I wanted to get to you guys early because I had so much to talk about. I was trying to get Bree on, but Bree jumped in the chat. So we were able to get her comments as well. Yep. So I'm looking forward to seeing what's happening this week. We're gonna see LA with, as Bree said, with her freakum dress on and all that makeup in LA. She's like a whole different person. Man, I'm wondering, is that before or after? Maybe Holden already put it down, and that's why I brought that side of her, because we seen that before in Hope. Hope had a whole new appearance after screwing Thomas. So maybe she got a little bit of, maybe she got some in LA and now she got a whole new attitude. Cause she like a whole person. Oh, thank you, Janet. I'm glad you enjoyed it. You guys make sure you hit that like button too before you go. But we got a lot of stuff going on this week. We're gonna see Danny and Bill kiss and get caught. There's a proposal from Smitty to Martin. We got most stuff on Bowl with this whole pregnancy, and then Y&R stuff. So I'm enjoying your recaps of all. Oh, thank you. Listen, I've been trying to school. Well, it's technically not a full recap. So I do full recaps on Bowl, and then there are specific storylines out of each episode that I tend to pull out and talk about. Cause some stuff on Y&R I don't even talk about, like the Tessa and Mariah. I don't even deal with that. So I might talk about Michael and Lauren, or I talk about Claire and Kyle, or something that I carve out, or this whole thing I did with Kane telling Jack off last week. That was funny. Jack was looking real stupid when he tried to BS Kane. Kane like, listen, dude, don't play with me. You welcome. All right, you guys, I'm going to end it right here. Have an amazing week. Stay tuned for more recaps for the rest of the week. I did, I guess, kind of recap what we saw in Y&R, B&B, and Beyond the Gates for today. So include that in, this whole podcast for today. So until next time, we will see you guys later. And, we will. I'm going to try to figure that out, Janet, about the Emmys. Yeah, Gail, I see you guys. I'm going to try to see what we can do about the daytime Emmy so we can talk about it. That would be nice. Maybe I'll go live. I don't know. I'll figure it out. Let me look and see. I'll talk to my co-host to see if they can get in on it. And then we'll figure out something and get it out to you guys. All right? I think it's gonna be on Channel 2 or CBS, which is just Channel 2 in my town. But I think it's gonna be on CBS. I could be wrong. Check your local listings. All right, you guys. We will see you guys later. You guys have a great night. Bye, guys.